You may have heard of him, Jerry West. The logo, the icon of our game. He was a friend and a mentor, and I owe him more than he could ever understand. I miss him more than I can ever express.
First year in the NBA was probably like a fish out of water. There were so many things that I had to learn about the game, about how to play with other people. It just wasn't about the ability to score, the ability to defend someone.
Jerry was the type of player that, would embarrass you. He was so quick and fast. I mean, he'd just blow right by you.
Jerry has a way of setting up that marvelous jump shot that almost never misses.
He was the guy I did not want to play because he was so quick.
His nickname was Mr. Clutch. He carried that moniker well because every time we were in that situation, boom, he'd make the shot.
It got to the point where you'd want to shoot it because you thought you could make it. Just throw me the damn ball and get away from me.
Basketball was not just a profession for him, it was a way of life.
This is the Mar Vista Playground in West Los Angeles, California. Working out with the youngsters is Jerry West. Is it just a coincidence that you live across the street from this basketball court?
It gives me a chance to get over here and work out sometimes when I feel that I need it, and it's very convenient for me.
I want to say that Jerry West was absolutely fantastic. That was one of the greatest exhibitions I ever saw in my life.
My accomplishments, and particularly in the basketball arena, were through kind of a fear that I was going to fail.
People talk about loud killers all the time in basketball. Jerry West was different. He barely talked, barely celebrated. But when games got tight, entire arenas started feeling nervous. Players said the last minute against West felt like being hunted slowly by somebody completely cold-blooded. There was something uncomfortable about the way Jerry West looked during games. No smile, no wasted movement, just anger sitting behind his eyes for 48 straight minutes. Opponents said he looked more dangerous after making shots, not less. The crowd could feel it too. Once West got locked in emotionally, the entire building started expecting disaster.
Who's it gonna be?
Me? Oh, fuck no, no. No, it's a big fucking N-O. Hell no. No.
Jerry?
No, I ain't fucking doing it, Bill, you motherfucker. Come on, I got a whole fucking brigade of men, qualified men who want the fucking job.
Jerry, we've been down that road before. Hell, I've been down them all right? They get shot, they fall off their fucking bikes, they choke in the first round, and they all lead back to you. Now, I'm not religious, but I think God might be trying to tell you something.
God ain't my fucking friend, okay? No.
Think of the team, Jerry.
Can't hear you, Bill.
We're in the middle of the season. We need continuity here.
Jerry, how are you gonna feel watching the Celtics steal another trophy?
You are a mean motherfucker. That's a low blow.
Well, that's where this is headed.
Long before modern basketball turned deep shooting into entertainment, Jerry West was already terrifying teams from distances nobody respected yet. Defenders thought certain shots were bad decisions, until West kept drilling them anyway. His famous 70-foot buzzer shot against the Knicks shocked America because players back then simply did not attempt shots like that seriously. West did, and he nearly broke reality doing it.
I'm 17 years old. I never weight trained before.
Right.
I'm just going out there on pure talent, playing against Monte Ellis in high school.
Right.
We lost that game, but I felt good. I'm like, okay, it's just me and him. He and I both felt disrespected. We felt funny about it because Jerry West, shout out to the late, great Jerry West, he was at that game and he left after the first quarter. And we were confused. We were like, what? He left? He flew all the way down here to leave? We saw in the newspaper, Jerry said, I seen all I needed to see. They both were pros. So having those experiences, I felt like all right, I'm good enough. I didn't understand the work part of it.
I'm in the bathroom and I'm tearing the bathroom up. I ripped 3 urinals out the wall. I ripped 2 toilets up. I ripped a couple toilet doors out. I bust up a big color TV. And Jerry West comes in. What the F are you doing? Like, I'm tired of losing. So he grabs me, like right here, and pins me up to the thing. He came in there like a gangster. You dummy. I went to the finals, I think he said 7 times. I went to the finals 7 times before I won. Your time's gonna come. So I was like, the great Jerry West lost 7 times before he won 1. Oh, I don't feel so bad. It's been noted that I had problems with a few people. But if you do your research, the people that I have problems with were not authoritative figures. I respond excellent to authority. Jerry West was like that. Whenever I make a mistake, boy. And Jerry West comes in, what the F are you doing? Like, I'm tired of losing. So he grabs me, like right here, and pins me up to the thing. You dummy. I went to the finals, I think he said 7 times. I went to the finals 7 times before I won. your time's gonna come. So I was like, the great Jerry West lost 7 times before he won one. Oh, I don't feel so bad. So I still got a couple more times to lose. Jerry West is the man, he's the logo. He's God in my eyes. So whatever he says, it has to be right.
ShaqFullRadio.com. Shaq Attack.
What made Jerry West truly terrifying was how calm he became late in games. Most stars rushed possessions when pressure exploded. West slowed down emotionally while everyone else panicked. He stared directly at defenders, walked into difficult pull-ups, and treated clutch moments like personal executions. Even Bill Russell admitted Boston constantly feared what West could do in the final minutes of close games. Elgin Baylor saw the transformation happen better than anybody. For 3 quarters, Jerry West looked controlled and disciplined. Then the 4th quarter arrived, and suddenly he attacked like somebody personally insulted him. Pull-up jumpers started falling from impossible angles. Passing lanes disappeared because West kept jumping steals. Defenders got embarrassed in isolation repeatedly. Baylor later described moments where West looked less like a normal superstar and more like a player completely possessed by winning.
We were going to training camp. You cannot sign a contract here in Los Angeles unless you're 18 years old. And so he couldn't even sign a contract. And he would tell me, I said, what are you doing this week? I'm going to go play ball here. I said, Kobe, why don't you do this indoors? Don't go out. Get a call from a trainer. He'd broken his wrist playing down at Venice Beach. So he missed training camp. You go over in training camp and you watch him, and it's like, you almost felt you had to strap him down. He could not sit down.
Yeah.
And so he had a chance to develop his left hand over there. But he was just one of those guys that he was just a natural player who, when he was born, there was a heck of a lot of gold dust sprinkled on this. He played every night. You didn't have to ask him to play hard.
I was on a panel with Oscar Robertson and Jerry West in Los Angeles. And to hear Jerry West and to see Jerry West talk about Oscar Robertson, and I never forget, he moved up and he was like, look, I know I'm the logo and everything else. He said, but in my era, there was no better basketball player than Oscar Robertson.
Amen.
And Oscar was sitting right here.
Right.
And you know, Oscar said, you right, Jerry.
Jerry was the reason why I got to the Lakers. So 96, I don't know if you know the story, during the Olympics, I was negotiating with Orlando. I was at Magic City, and my agent called me and said, hey man, you gotta come meet Jerry, because I never met him. Knew who he was, so we get up to his suite. He was smooth, he had a Versace house coat. He said, Shaq, I got some good news, I got some bad news. I said, well, what's the bad news, sir? He said, I can't get you that 150 you want, but I can get you this. And then give me that contract. Bro, I ain't never seen so many zeros in my life. I was like, but he was like, you gotta sign now. Like, I didn't even have time to call nobody. He's like, you gotta sign now. And then right when I was signing, he said, let me tell you something. I'm about to get this young kid from high school. We did a deal with Charlotte. We gonna move Vlade, a kid named Kobe Bryant, and y'all gonna win championship.
All the time in the NBA Finals, and they only win once. And yet, every time I look, I played better in the playoffs than I did the regular season.
But you got one.
That was not meaningful for me. And when you win games that are big, and the time we won the championship, the only joy that I ever got is watching those guys. It was torture for me to try to figure out how could I find some way to feel good about myself, and I couldn't.
The scariest part about Jerry West was that even the greatest dynasty ever respected his danger level. Bill Russell and the Celtics beat the Lakers again and again during the 1960s, but Boston never felt comfortable when West got rolling offensively. During the 1969 finals, West averaged nearly 38 points while attacking exhausted defenders non-stop. Russell understood one brutal truth. One scoring avalanche from West could flip an entire finals game emotionally within minutes. The 1,969 NBA Finals became proof that Jerry West operated differently from almost every superstar before him. The Lakers were injured, emotionally drained, and fighting a Boston team loaded with championship experience. None of it mattered to West. He averaged nearly 38 points played through pain, created offense every possession, and attacked defenders like the series was personal revenge. Celtics players later admitted the pressure never disappeared because West kept dragging dead games back to life repeatedly. He became the only player ever to win Finals MVP from the losing team because even Boston understood they had just survived something terrifying. The famous 70-foot shot against the New York Knicks still sounds fake today because basketball was not supposed to look like that in the early 70s. There was no three-point line. Coaches hated reckless shots. Most players would not even dream about launching from that distance under pressure. Jerry West pulled up anyway and buried it clean at the buzzer. The entire arena exploded while Knicks players stood frozen trying to process what they had just witnessed. That moment changed how people viewed impossible shots forever, because West made desperation look calculated. One reason opponents hated facing Jerry West was because no lead ever felt safe against him. Teams could be up 15 points and still look nervous because West had a terrifying habit of destroying games in sudden scoring explosions. One steal turned into a fast break. One jumper became 3 straight possessions. Suddenly, the entire momentum flipped emotionally. Oscar Robertson and other guards from that era constantly talked about how exhausting West was mentally because he never relaxed during possessions. He played every minute like somebody had insulted him personally before tip-off. Losing changed Jerry West into something even more ruthless. Most superstars protected their confidence after painful defeats. West did the opposite. Every finals loss against Boston made him angrier, colder, and more obsessed with destroying opponents the next season. Teammates talked about him sitting silently in locker rooms after losses, looking completely furious with himself. Sometimes he stayed upset even after wins, because he replayed mistakes over and over mentally. West watched endless film, remembered every missed rotation, and treated failure like a personal attack on his identity. Opponents slowly realized this was not a player motivated by fame or statistics. He was driven by hatred toward losing. That mentality made him terrifying, because emotional pain only sharpened him instead of breaking him. When Kobe Bryant talked about the players he respected most mentally, Jerry West always stood near the top because Kobe recognized the obsession immediately. Both men treated basketball less like entertainment and more like psychological warfare. West demanded perfection constantly. Missed assignments irritated him. Lazy possessions irritated him. Weakness irritated him. Kobe later carried that exact same emotional intensity into the modern NBA because he understood how terrifying, relentless standards could become inside locker rooms and on the court. What made West different from flashy superstars was the emotional discomfort he created around everybody else. He was not loud like Magic Johnson or openly intimidating like later physical monsters. He just kept attacking mistakes mercilessly until opponents mentally collapsed. Players respected his greatness, but many also admitted they hated how exhausting games against him felt emotionally. Jerry West made basketball feel heavy. That was the terrifying part. A lot of players talked trash to create fear. Jerry West barely needed words. The pressure came from the way he moved during possessions and how quickly he punished mistakes. One lazy pass became a steal. One slow defensive rotation became a pull-up jumper directly in somebody's face. One emotional mistake turned into an entire momentum swing. Opponents started playing nervous because they knew West noticed everything immediately. His transition attacks felt relentless, and his shot-making destroyed confidence slowly over 4 quarters. Several players from that generation later admitted games against West felt mentally longer than normal because he forced teams to stay emotionally locked in every second. The moment concentration slipped, he attacked instantly. That created a different kind of fear. Not chaos, not screaming. Just constant psychological exhaustion, building possession after possession until opponents finally cracked under it. Decades later, Jerry West still feels different from most basketball legends because the fear surrounding him never came from showmanship. It came from emotional intensity that almost looked unhealthy at times. West played every game carrying frustration, obsession, anger, and competitive paranoia all at once. Opponents could feel it immediately. Teammates could feel it too. That energy turned him into one of the coldest late-game killers basketball had ever seen. Modern fans see the NBA logo and think about history. Older players think about survival. They remember a guard who attacked pressure instead of avoiding it. They remember impossible jumpers before the three-point era even existed. They remember a player who could score 30 points and still walk off furious because he missed defensive assignments earlier in the night. That mentality separated West from ordinary superstars completely. His legendary battles against Bill Russell, the Celtics dynasty, and every elite guard of the 1960s built an aura that never disappeared. Even when he lost championships, opponents talked about relief afterward instead of celebration because surviving Jerry West emotionally drained teams for an entire series. That is why younger killers like Kobe Bryant studied him so closely. West created the blueprint for basketball obsession. Silent pressure, ruthless execution, emotional warfare disguised as fundamentals. Jerry West did not just beat teams. He exhausted people mentally.